Moshi, Tanzania, East Central Africa. This city has a population of 185,000. When you expand to the rural areas, it grows to 403,000. This part of Africa is in the bottom 10% of world economies. The majority of people living in this area are farmers. The average person works on a living of approximately $10 to $15 per month. Some have been able to make a decent living through the tourist industry, but predominantly the area is made of the lower first class with poverty-stricken areas. Living conditions here vary from wood structures covered with mud and dung for walls and thatched roofs to walled compounds and very nice homes. Many people here live in shacks with no sanitation and very little protection. Some men have abandoned their families to go to larger towns to seek work, while mothers raise their children on what little they can produce by selling vegetables or doing work for others. 20 miles south and west of Moshi, near the foot of Mount Kilimanjaro, is a rural evangelical Lutheran parish of approximately 1,800 called Msuranga Mandaka. The parish covers 20 square miles and includes 5 sub-parishes. Most of them are in a very rural setting and are miles away from the main road. During the rainy season, it is nearly impossible to get neither in nor out. The parish includes approximately 500 children. Roughly 30 of those children have some form of disability, either physical or mental. In Tanzania, many parents will abandon their disabled children or even kill them because their disability is considered to be a burden. In 2003, the late Reverend Dalam Latu saw a growing need to care for children with disabilities within Msuranga Mandaka and their families. Through a partnership with a grant and support for a lease through Mosaic in Nebraska, the BCC was established. It stands for Building a Caring Community. The vision behind the center was to establish a place where children with disabilities could be cared for, taught, and even move forward to enter school if possible, while providing a freedom for parents and caregivers to be able to work and bring in some income to support the family. The center was also established as a safe place for children whose lives are threatened. At the BCC, there are several staff who work daily with the children through exercise, play, socialization, teaching, and daily care of feeding, resting, and hygiene. The hope is to provide an air of value for each child, as well as seeking, where possible, to move children into vocational or additional schooling. It not only serves Msuranga Mandaka Parish, but any who need care.
Faida ya kwanza mtoto anakuwa katika ulinzi. Faida ya pili, mzazi kama mzazi mwenye mtoto anapata nafasi ya kujitafutia riziki. Pili, anapata mazoezi ya viungo na wanabadilika kutoka kulala chini hadi kutembea. Wanapata lishe bora, anachangamana na watoto wenzake. Inawezekana pia mtoto kama huyo akiletwa kituoni naye akichangamana na wenzake, mfano alikuwa mlemavu wa kukaa chini, kutokana na mazoezi yale mtoto yule ana uwezo, kutokana na chakula, mazoezi, ana uwezo wa kutembea. Kama vile tuna watoto kama 5 tangu tumeanza kazi wametembea. Nina watoto 4 tayari wako ndani ya chekechea, wameshaenda chekechea. Tuliofanya nao kazi sisi BCC. Na wengine wameweza kujitegemea kama vile James na Flora wameweza sasa hivi wana uwezo. Flora anafuma sweta, maana baada kutoka kwetu alipelekwa chuo cha imani. Sasa hivi anafuma sweta na skafu za mama. Kwa hiyo ana uwezo wa kusoma na kuandika na kuhesabu. Kingine wengine wameweza kama mfano ufugaji wa kuku. Kufanya rutini ya kuanzia asubuhi mpaka jioni. Akija asubuhi anajua kabisa natakiwa nifagie kwa kuku, niweke chakula na kuokota mayai.
Hata mimi nashukuru na mjukuu mlemavu ndio namleta hapa, naona ni msaada mkubwa sana. Wazazi wako hawako, wamekufa. Hawajafa, wamekimbia maana walipoona mlemavu.
ni kiasi kikubwa, kwa sababu ungeenda kutafuta riziki inabidi mtoto ungemfungia ndani ili uende ukatafute riziki sasa kuja kuwapa. Sasa ukisharudi tena unamkuta baba mtoto keshajisaidia, inabidi uanze tena kuhangaika tena kumhudumia tena yule mtoto, umuogeshe.
In 2012, the BCC lease from Mosaic ran out, which moved the center into a single room at the Msuranga-Mandaka main parish compound. This severely limited the ability to care for students, as the current space can only accommodate 7 students. There are more than 30 in the parish who could benefit from the center. To help serve as many as possible, the facility does send workers to the homes of some who cannot get to the center. But then students miss the socialization, and the parents and caregivers do not benefit from the daily care so they can work. Because of this, some families walk for miles, pushing wheelchairs in some cases to bring their children to the BCC.
Mimi nashukuru kwa sababu nilikuwa natoka mbali sana kuliko wenzangu. Lakini nikabeba na mgongoni, nikawaambia sitaleta tena kwa sababu mtoto amekuwa mkubwa na miaka 9. Sasa hivi wakanipa wheelchair na mleta kama kawaida.
And how far does she come?
Unatoka mbali gani? Anajua huyu. Kanisa la Mandaka. Mandaka chini. Kanisa la kule chini.
Tamam. Ole.
The need for a larger facility is critical. Funding to make this happen is not an overnight task for those in Tanzania. The congregation of Msuranga-Mandaka and its offerings run the center currently, but with the inclusion of other students, additional support will be needed to fund care for all who come to the center. The families and staff agree that much progress is being made, and children at the BCC are seeing miraculous improvement, but it needs to grow so more can see the impact of such services.
Mtoto anahudumiwa nyumbani kwa sababu kituo hamna nafasi. Lakini tungepata kituo kingeongezwa na wale yule wa Kongo akawa anakuja hapa. Ningeshukuru niende hata kufanya kibarua kwa sababu na watoto wengine wawili wananitegemea, baba wao amekimbia. Kwa hiyo ananyima kwenda hata kutafuta riziki kwa sababu sina mtu kumwachia.
Kweli mimi ningependa hicho kituo kijengwe kwa sababu mimi mwenyewe natembelea watoto wa manyumbani ambao hawakupata nafasi hapa kituoni. Kwa hiyo wale watoto wa nyumbani yani hawapati, kwa sababu wa manyumbani wako wengi zaidi kuliko wa kituo. Kwa hiyo yani kama kingejengwa ili na wale wengine waweze kutoka kule manyumbani ili waweze kupata huduma inavyotakiwa.
Nawashawishi kwa sababu kama mtoto wangu mimi hakupata kituo, nahisi kwamba asingekuwepo au mimi maisha haya nisingekuwepo. Kwa hiyo ninawashauri kwamba kuhamasisha tu kwamba watu yani mtu asiwe mchoyo wa kutoa kitu kwa ajili ya kusaidia watoto kama hao. Ndio.
In 2013, the youth of Christ the Servant Lutheran Church, through a connection made by Pastor Matt Bonfleth, decided to make building a larger BCC their mission.
In the visioning of coming back from my first major trip to Africa, talked to the students about the fact that there was what I perceived could possibly be a need, that they could do something highly exciting in their own lives in ministry and make a difference around the world. And so I presented to them a group of slides and films that I had from my time with the children at the center, and also the story of the center and what was happening to it, and what was going to be happening at the loss of the lease for the center itself. And I was really pleasantly surprised. We actually talked about it. The youth asked a lot of questions, but ultimately we came to a place where I said, you know, we need to make a commitment. The question is, will you really commit to this? And it was a unanimous vote. Every one of the youth agreed that this was something they wanted to be a part of and that they wanted to do, and to raise money to help children all the way across the world.
Over the past 2 years, the youth have undertaken a wide variety of fundraisers to seek funds to help build the center. Thanks to their hard work, the grace of God, and the kindness of others, the funding for the center is nearly complete, about 5,000 short of the funding goal.
They have done some amazing fundraising things, not selling cookies and brownies, but by doing some large-scale things. and also smaller bits where they have also been doing work to raise funds. And it's just exciting to see that they have taken that on so wholeheartedly. When I think of a group of youth who could just be thinking about life and doing life as a normal person every day in this world, in this country with all of the things we have, to have a group that would say to themselves, you know, I'm going to give up time, I'm going to do some extra work, I'm going to do some things to make funds happen, that's pretty special. And I really am very proud of the youth who've been a part of that. And to see that they're so close to the goal now is exciting.
With the fundraising goal within reach, the youth of CTS are planning to travel to Tanzania this summer and help to build the BCC that they've been working hard to fund.
It'll have a very open facility in the center as an ability for a large-scale work with groups. There's also several smaller rooms around the outside of the building for sleeping rooms. A kitchen is attached to that place as well, and an eating area. One of the greatest things that's going to be a part of that building is actually there's going to be a facility for them to use for restrooms. Previously, where the original BCC was, they had to share restrooms with other families that were living in the area. And when I learned about that, I was really kind of saddened for them that having special needs anyways was difficult enough. But now they're actually going to have a washroom facility, have wash facilities right there as a part of this. And so the building itself is going to be large enough to handle 30 plus children, where currently they're only able to take care of 8 in the building, plus all the staff, and have it all contained in one place for them to be able to do their work. And that's pretty interesting to see how that's going to flow out. This summer we are going to be traveling with a group of 7 people total, mostly youth, 2 adults, and we're going to be teaming up with the youth from the congregation in Tanzania. Youth there is a little bit different. They run from 16 to 35, so I'm not sure what the ages of everybody who will be participating is, but this will be a youth-built building. We are hiring a contractor to be the one who leads the construction and make sure everything is being done as it needs to be done, but this will be built by youth and for these youth. We are going to be working on building a foundation structure, pouring concrete as a base, and beginning to work on putting in walls, stone walls. I'm hoping we're actually going to get to the place in 2 weeks that we can even have a roof beginning to take shape, or even up, so that they'll have a shell to continue to work on. Over the next several weeks after that, they'll work on getting electrical wiring in there, getting the plumbing facilities working. They have to do a lot of work to plaster the walls, to take the brick walls and they plaster it over so it looks much like our walls do now as well. And then be able to paint it all in the facility, hopefully within a period of about 4 months as a maximum, will be open and be able to be celebrated as an opening.
Just like the funding for the BCC, the funding to send the youth missionaries and the adult sponsors to Tanzania is not an overnight process. First and foremost, the process and mission needs your prayer support. Pray for the chosen team. Pray for their health. Pray for the children and the families of the BCC, and pray that God's love and truth be at the center of this mission. The mission also needs the support of those who feel that God is laying it upon their hearts to support it financially.
All of the money, 100%, is going into the building itself. There is still need where the youth, as they're getting ready to go at this time, are hoping that they can continue to raise funds to help support them in going, because the cost is roughly about $2,400 per person for them to raise funds for air travel, for visas, shots, and the things that are needed. But my hope is that people's generosity will continue to flow, and that we can actually increase the amount of funds and have a surplus. Because we're hoping that they can be the seed money to help the congregation begin a mission that they have decided to do off of this center that we're building, because they want to build a hostel to be able to house the children on the campus location for the entire week and take care of them, so they have a place to stay. Again, helping parents to be able to go to work, to do things, but also to make sure that the transportation for so many of the kids that come from such a distance in that country is minimized, and to give them a communal aspect as well. So any additional funds that are left over are all going to be given to the congregation and earmarked for the beginning of that hostel project as well. there is no greater way to experience God's love, I believe, than being able to touch lives that you'll never maybe get to know. And these children, if you is watching the rest of the information that goes with the video, you see that the children's parents are benefiting because they can actually help the rest of their family live. The children are gaining in vocational and supportive work, as well as therapeutic work to move them forward in their lives and to have them have the best life possible. And ultimately it all comes down to the fact that without this kind of center available, in a place like Tanzania, children like this would be discarded, which is a sad and unfortunate truth. Parents, families, if they have a child with disabilities, more often than not, sometimes they just get abandoned. They get removed because the family itself would possibly collapse for all the work, time, and effort it would take to take care of the one. Lives are being changed. Children are moving forward and doing things that are just absolutely amazing compared to what we see with all the large-scale medical facilities we have here. They're moving with therapy, with love, with support, with teaching, and these kids are starting to get back into school systems, having the ability to get vocational work to go forward. Families are being able to help support other kids. I can't think of a better win-win for somebody to join into. One of the greatest success stories that I've been able to witness in my years of being a part of the Tanzanian mission, now over 12 years, is a young girl named Heike. When I first went to Africa, Heike was in a very small wheelchair. She had a particular developmental issue where she couldn't raise her hands above her shoulders. Her hands were clubbed together as fists. She couldn't walk at all. When I returned 2 years later, Heike was now able, because of the therapy and the work they were doing, to actually raise her arms above her shoulders and actually to point a knuckled fist at signs to start identifying and being able to tell what things were as she was growing and learning. And the most amazing gift was getting to see, this last time we went to Tanzania, again another 2 years later, to see Heike actually walking with the support of another person with a belt, but to see Heike walking home. And what an amazing thing to see that accomplished by therapy, love, faith, and the development of a Christian community. I don't think it gets any better than that.